So I think I forgot to say a couple of things about this camera. Is one, it's got a 42mm lens, so it's a little bit tighter than the others. But for those of you who don't know what a spot meter is, so if you imagine a center weighted meter reads pretty much the center of your film, of your picture, of your image. You want to make sure when you're taking a picture of the sky that you don't let the sky influence that too much. But a spot meter, as opposed to looking at 20 degrees of the image, looks at only about 6. So it's very tight. So imagine someone's face or someone's, if you pointed the center patch directly at someone's shirt, then it would just be their shirt. So it allows you to be much more specific in what you meter. Of course, you have to think about the reflectance of that object. Is it white? Is it black? Is it neutral gray? Is it some color in between? So that makes it a lot of fun. The other great feature of this camera, which I think is pretty amazing for this old camera, is it has an exposure locking mode. Just like in a modern digital camera. Let's say you meter, off someone's face, but then you recompose. Well, the camera is going to give you a slightly different exposure for that. But let's say you want to lock the exposure based off the person's face, because it's like a -1 or something like that. Well, just push the button down halfway, and it locks the exposure for you. And then when you push it all the way, it will actually shoot the exposure that you set based on where you metered. So it has an exposure, an AE lock, which is really great and pretty amazing for the little camera. It's pretty quiet, which is one of the keys to a rangefinder. All these cameras have leaf shutters as opposed to curtain shutters like modern day cameras. So here's the shutter sound if you're curious. Just sounds like a little click. Pretty amazing. But yeah, the SP is a pretty fascinating little camera, and I think it's probably the most versatile of the three.